波を抜けてゆく太陽のかけらを集め微笑む君と戯る潮風が舞い上がる
White butt statue.
You know, Adam, just because it's winter doesn't mean we can't have a nice summery day, you know? It may be gray and nasty and gross outside, but it can be summer inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Figures being from the state that invented self-delusion, being that I'm 30 minutes from where D&D was invented.
Really?
Wisconsinites are really good at playing make-believe. Yeah, Lake Geneva.
Interesting. I didn't realize.
You can go visit the original house where all the nerds went and sat together and defied Christ.
Is that like nerd Mecca, Lake Geneva?
No, it's like really kind of bougie now.
Yeah. Well, as far as I remember, yeah, Lake Geneva's always had those like legendarily large houses.
Yeah. Well, it was like a destination point for Chicagoans when they wanted to get out of the city.
Yeah, and I'm sure it still is. If you really want to live outside the city, I think those days might be over, quite frankly. I mean, unless you want to commute 2 hours, but at that point you might as well, like, live in Milwaukee, you know?
Yeah, well, there's always remote work.
Yeah, but then it's like, why live anywhere near the city at all if you can work remote, you know?
Yeah. Offices, who needs them?
Apparently not us, and not for much longer. Ominous pause. Yes. Did you see what Elon Musk was shilling for this week?
No.
He was saying that in like the space of 10 years, there will be work will be a hobby and not required because of AI.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's how it's going to work.
I know. I decided not to play any of it. Because quite frankly, it is amazing. It is amazing how quickly faith in AI is dying while the promises continue to go through the roof.
Well,
you know?
It's funny you say that because I literally got AI to do something useful for me for the first time today. I got a new resin for my resin printer, and resin printing is a messy, horrible process. And when you buy them, usually they're from like some weird Chinese company that can't write instructions properly. And so it's like surfing all over the internet trying to find the right print settings for this specific resin. And it's like they literally have their settings on a spreadsheet on Google Docs, and it's all wrong. So I asked AI, I was like, give me all the print settings that I need to have a successful print with this resin. And it actually gave me the exact information I needed. And now my 3D print is working for the first time in a very long time. Maybe I'm just an idiot, but resin printing is a pain in the ass. And it's really nice that AI got something right. So,
good. That's one thing we get. 1 point for AI.
Everything else I've been doing with it has just been like messing around and telling jokes.
I still can't get it to do very, very simple things with text. It just can't do it. It gets carried away. It almost doesn't matter the bot. It'll get carried away and just start adding things.
Did I tell you that Gemini's gotten like rude?
Gemini was rude with me too. What's going on there?
They want to get rid of the sycophantic, creepy vibe that's causing people to kill themselves.
So they're making it mean?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's also lying to me all the time, which
it lies to me too. Remember I called it out and I was like, you're lying? And only then did it. That was a couple episodes ago. Nothing's changed except that it's now rude. And it actively lies. It doesn't just get things wrong. It just like decides that you're a dumb human. Oh my goodness.
Yep. Oh.
All this tech crap, man.
Do you want to hear a story that's not related to tech?
Yes.
So I don't know if you'll be able to find this on the internet. Apparently in Queensland in Australia, where they have a lot of cattle ranches, they've had this issue where some of the cattle have like eaten something that has driven them insane.
What?
Yeah, they don't know if it's like some kind of parasite or what it is, but basically these cattle are like turning around and like storming the ranches and like holding people hostage.
Wait, are you sure it's Queensland? We got to find a clip of this.
I'm pretty sure. I don't think you're going to find it because they're trying to keep it under wraps.
Where'd you hear about this?
I saw it on like a TikTok while I was browsing memes. But anyway, the reason that it came up on the TikTok video, they're hiring somebody. There's only like 2 in the whole world. They're hiring this person from like Norway who is known as an animal negotiator.
An animal negotiator?
Yeah, I guess it's like some kind of a cross between like an animal psychic and a vet.
Oh.
But anyway, they're like getting this person out there to try and figure this out. But again, they don't want it on the press because the stakes are so high.
The stakes are, oh my God. You did all that just for that shitty pun?
I figured you'd have a button for me.
I don't know if I have one.
Just watching you frantically surf the web for an animal negotiator.
You want to see what I found? Do you want to watch this? Animal negotiator.
Hey, look, just come outside. I'm being told there are treats. Now, the important question. Who's a good boy? Tell me it's you. Okay, look, just come outside.
It's just a dog in an FBI vest saying, come outside.
Yeah.
This was the first result. Together. Well, I mean, this is the first result I get when I look up animal negotiator. But see, that's the thing is like, I know you're like, now it's obviously it was a joke just so you could say the stakes were so high, which is pretty good. But honestly, the idea of an animal negotiator for this kind of situation, this sounds like something the news would just make up because it's a slow news week anyway. Didn't you hear about the ostrich genocide in Canada?
Yeah, of course.
Did you?
Is it real?
Are you kidding?
The CFIA has completed the cull of hundreds of ostriches on an Edgewood farm. The original cull order was issued for Universal Ostrich Farm nearly a year ago after avian flu hit the flock, killing almost 70 of them. The farm legally fought the cull, but on Thursday, the Supreme Court of Canada ruled it wouldn't hear the farm's appeal. The CFIA says professional marksmen were used to cull the herd of 300 to 330 birds Thursday night in a controlled setting on the farm. It was also done under...
Yeah, they just shot him.
I guess that's the best way to do it, to keep your distance.
I suppose. I mean, according to this video, it appears that they fenced them in with giant hay bales and then shot the animals.
Wow. That's messed up.
Yeah. And they were, I don't know if the hay bales were to stop the bullets or to stop people from seeing, but there were a lot of conspiracy people who were like, yeah, this is because of COVID. They're hiding another outbreak. Or something like that.
When did this happen?
This was a couple weeks ago or maybe last week. But it's not the only one where this happened. Like, this story makes it feel like it was just one little thing. Here's another clip from it.
Let's turn to British Columbia and the latest developments at Universal Ostrich Farms. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency has now confirmed it's finished its cull of the farm's resident flock.
Are we sure this guy has ears?
I was going to say he looks like an alien.
He looks like he's pinned his ears back.
Why does he have like a fake flower on his lapel?
I think that's for, 2 weeks ago? I'm pretty sure that's for Veterans Day, or not Veterans Day. What's the Armistice Day? I'm pretty sure that's what that's for. But the armistice was not declared on the ostriches because, I mean, I guess it was a whole friggin' genocide.
May spoke about it. Take a listen.
It's a very unpleasant and not humane process that will be about to take place. So I know how desperate the people who own the farm are. It's heartbreaking. It's their lives. And I think public sympathies are with them. But on the science, all I can say is do more science. Take a beat.
You want to hear that again?
All I can say is do more science.
Can that has to be a button. I apologize.
Do more science.
Oh, I missed it.
All I can say is do more science. Take a beat. Don't kill them.
Unbelievable.
Don't kill them.
Do more science. Don't kill them. I don't know. Do more science. We must simply do more science to prevent the ostriches from being murdered. Now, before we get into the main content of the show, because we're gonna get there, don't worry, there's plenty to talk about. There was one other big story I felt like this week, and that was Ubisoft.
When are they not a story?
Well, I mean, we did a whole episode on the samurai thing.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? The Assassin's Creed Shadows thing?
How could I forget?
Oh, that was wonderful. I thought I was so funny starting the show with the Kung Fu fighting song. Because it's Kung Fu. I don't know.
Isn't Kung Fu Chinese?
Ubisoft has been having a situation. Ubisoft, a couple of days ago, postponed their earnings call. They said, wait a minute, stop the count. Let's look at their stock right now. Flatlined. Absolutely fucking flatlined. Now, what happens when something flatlines? Well, I think that we all know it dies. Ubisoft has delayed their first half fiscal year 2025-26 earnings report just minutes before the scheduled release and requested a halt to trading of its shares and bonds. The company did not specify a reason. This follows financial pressures from underperforming titles like Assassin's Creed Shadows, which sold 4.3 million units in 6 months against the over $200 million development costs, plus earlier delays, studio closures, and layoffs. And this was 2 days ago, too. And they haven't said anything about this for 2 days. I'm sorry, guys, but a company with stock that looks like this? Imagine investing in 2008 and you're still down by over half. They literally had to pull their stock off of the exchange. Lived long enough to see Ubisoft go fucking bankrupt. Now, I do want to say, do you guys remember all of the people who spent all of their time go woke, top the charts? And this is what I think is the best part about this, is that Ubisoft and these other companies, they will get gaslighted by these journalists and they'll be told, no, it's actually your game's doing great. Everybody loves it.
Critics are scum.
Oh, yeah.
The best professor I ever had in film always said critics are scum. And that was before I knew critics were scum. This was a man who made his career in the 80s, and back then he had already achieved that level of gnosis. He just said, critics are scum. Full stop.
I mean, there are good critics, and not just for... What are you laughing at?
No, I'm just thinking about it. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, there are good critics that write amusing articles, and there are good critics who, if you spend a lot of time reading their stuff, you kind of understand what their tastes are and what they respond to. I don't think there's a clear demonstration of critics being scum, though, than Metascores.
Oh, yeah.
Like, have you looked at the Metascore for Black Ops 7?
No, I haven't.
The user score is a 1.6 out of 10.
Ooh.
And the critic score is like an 85. Like, could you make it more obvious that these people are all paid off?
Oh, Lord, man. Yeah, I think it was Asmongold who was saying this week, he's like, how does it make sense in 2025 to have salaried critics for like a company? How does that make sense anymore? Like the best kinds of like content creators around content like that are the ones who they don't necessarily like come in and give it a review score or critique it for its, its various elements like the gameplay, the graphics, the sound. They're just people who come in and they're like, do we like the vibe of this game or not? It's almost as if critique and criticism is reverting back to the golden age, which was like the Roger Ebert era of like criticism.
If you're going to make it as a critic, you have to be that good. Like you can't just be like, well, the sets were bad and the lighting was confusing and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of these critics too, like you read them and they always got to shove in their political messaging. But I don't know. It's like every now and then you come across a good review written by somebody who cares and you're like, oh, okay, so there's a specific voice here. And it can be fun and useful. But for the most part, it might as well be AI.
Yes, 100%. Because they're like, we need you to represent the brand of this company well. It's not, we hired a panel of very good writers with strong voices to like break down what makes this game work.
Well,
right?
I mean, you remember the early days of the internet when it was like people discovered that you could just like make a YouTube channel and be a critic.
Yeah.
And you could be really funny and you could say all the things that you weren't allowed to say, like obviously the angry video game nerd and the nostalgia critic. Like these guys, like there were hundreds of them. Because it was just fun to listen to somebody riff on something.
To listen to a normal person. Yeah. I mean, not that the angry video game nerd or nostalgia critic are normal people, but they're not
Mr. Hoity-toity with a notepad in the movie theater.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm a fan of this series, so I think this sucks. Like, yeah, okay. It's coming from a fan. That's an interesting perspective. Because back then, all you got was the elite talking to you, telling you how amazing, this movie was and how you needed to see it if you were a good American or something like that.
Well, I think the one that really broke the narrative was the Red Letter Media Star Wars reviews.
Oh, yeah. Oh, everyone.
It was a combination of entertainment, but also just putting the white hot light of scrutiny on something that we had just like denied was terrible.
Red Letter Media was like the 4chan of movie reviewing back in the day. Like, it was weird. It had a strange sense of humor. It was dark. I mean, one of the main sketches in the Star Wars reviews was that the reviewer had kidnapped a hooker and was keeping her in his basement.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get that from friggin' IGN or Game Informer. You don't get it from a streamer. Like, that's what made Red Letter Media so special. It wasn't just self-deprecating. It was like, holy shit, is there really, like, back then you could almost believe that there were like it just seemed weird that a movie reviewer would hire an actress to pretend to be a hooker. There was a level of believability to it that just wasn't with other reviewers with good old Red Letter Media. But we're extra proud of them because they're local boys.
I lived in an apartment next to where they filmed the Grabowskis in college.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I took a picture of it, but I was watching, which I don't even remember. The Grabowskis is like a fake sitcom that they made. They were like 2-minute videos. And then I just saw this building in the video. I'm like, that's like right outside.
Yeah.
So I went and I took a picture of it, but it doesn't matter. I think too, like the thing about critics nowadays is that when you had critics that mattered to the culture at large, it was before people realized that all of media was as controlled and as bad as it is. So it was like, oh, you can go and criticize a Marvel movie or whatever, And it, like, your criticism kind of mattered a little bit because we didn't realize just how much the studio system and all of entertainment was controlled. Now it's like, if you're still talking about the movie, you know, it's like you're watching a basketball game while the city outside's on fire.
Right. I ran into something the other night, and then we'll get back to Ubisoft here, but I ran into something the other night that was a breakdown of the alchemical origins of Magneto. And it was spot on. And I've never even seen a movie that features Magneto. But I was kind of like teasing the idea of like, what if we just did a deep dive on Marvel characters and figured out where they fit into Gnostic nonsense? Because that's all it is. But
that's probably where all the best ones came from.
Absolutely. Like Magneto's, well, I don't want to get into it. That's for another day, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Ubisoft is tanking. And
the Tencent bought all their debt.
They did, huh?
Well, they gave them just enough money to pay off their like $1.5 billion of debt. But now they have a 25% stake in one of their little creative houses, as they call it, which the one that they have the 25% stake in is all their biggest franchises. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But every time I see Guillermo's name, I'm just like, the way they're running this company is like, it's beyond childish. Oh, we're just not going to reveal our sales numbers to our investors. What?
Yeah. It's like, what? Can you do that?
It's like a kid
are you allowed
in their room and just shoving everything in the closet?
Exactly. Like, what are we talking about here? You know, it's so confusing to me. I have a video here, actually. This is the Ubisoft deal explained like you're 10. So it's perfect for our millennial brains. This is exactly the kind of stuff we need because, explain it like I'm 5. It was just a little too immature. 10's good. 10's a good age.
Can you explain the Ubisoft news like I'm 10 years old? Thanks. And Audentes Fortuna Evat. Yeah, I think I can. If you missed this news, it's basically, it's pretty simple. Ubisoft is creating a new entity. They are moving a lot of the most valuable assets, 3, Far Cry, AC, and Rainbow Six. They're moving those brands effectively into the new entity. Tencent is investing in that new entity to value it at like $4 billion. And that entity...
I still don't get it. I'm too dumb for this.
Maybe find a video that explains it like you're 5.
I don't know if I care enough. Ubisoft is not doing well, and they've sold out to Tencent. Is that the bottom line?
At least, yeah, quite a bit. I don't know. It's amazing, like how many tricks they're pulling to just try and get out of saying our sales are bad and we need to change.
Well, that's again,
they're like cutting their company apart and feeding it to the wolves because they can't just say we failed.
Listen, Adam, I am too Christian to understand this. Okay? The way I think about money and commerce is you work hard, you earn your wage, and you buy the things you need with the money. All this moving things around and like financial instrumentation and selling a percentage here to do this, to blah, 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 all that extra stuff, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I'm too Christian.
Yeah, you don't think like a financial predator.
Right. I don't think like a scammer, which is all that this is. This is legalese. That's what I'm saying. Is like at a certain level, because we're grugs, we're just like product woke, no buy. Right?
It's true.
And then at a certain level, it's like they not make game for customer, therefore they not make game for customer. You know what I mean? It's like,
we do need to get back.
Who are they making it for?
Well, that's the thing is they're so they're not trying to own the chuds. They're trying to own the grugs.
Yeah.
And they're so focused on that, like just rejecting the people that would give them money. Like,
yeah,
it's just, it's crazy.
You know how ridiculous this is? I don't know why. Listen, I am just a grug and I am too Christian to do this, right? I don't understand any of this stuff. But here's what it looks like to me, okay? When you say they're trying to own the grugs, I think you're right on another level. They are trying to own the grugs. They want you so loyal to this brand that you'll buy what they're expecting your loyalty. So you'll buy anything that they put out and be like, oh my God, it's another Ubisoft game. I can't wait to play it. I love Assassin's Creed. And you'll see these people be like, yeah, I was there for the opening release or for the opening day of Assassin's Creed 1 and it was so cool. And they have like no complaints about it. And then, almost 20 years down the line, they're like, yeah, black guy in Japan, that's exactly what I wanted back in 2007. That's what everyone was asking for. And you're like, what? Ubisoft owns your brain. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it's interesting that this is also happening the same time that Black Ops 7 is. I don't think it's a flop, but they've gotten so used to having like a for sure return on their investment, like a massive return, because people just, people who play Call of Duty, generally, they're just kind of like, oh, yep, it's a new one. Let's get it. All my friends are playing it. But this time I think they just I almost think they were testing what they could get away with that insane acid trip campaign with AI everything, and just let's see how lazy we can be. And then next year, because they have all this cash in reserve, they can do a return to form, and then everybody will be back plus more.
I hate all of it. Whatever happened to just making good games and trying to make the next one better? Whatever happened to that? Oh, yeah. It got sucked into financialization like everything else. Like, now the product is not the point. The point is to do some magic with money and make more money that way instead of just selling copies, right? Like, yeah. We're so far past just selling copies, selling tickets, selling DVDs. We're so past that in the entertainment industry that it's just obvious at this point. I don't even know how people are born, even 15 years ago and don't understand that the product is not the point. Like, that's something I had to learn, right? Because, like, we grew up in a time where, like, reviews mattered and the number of copies of games sold mattered. Right?
Yeah.
And now it doesn't seem to matter at all.
I think what matters is getting people into some kind of a cycle that will continue to create security for the company's profits. It's like you launch a game, it's a mega hit because it's really cool, or there's a lot of marketing hype around it, or the public consciousness wants it or whatever, but you can't bank on that every single time. So like what a franchise like Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed has done has sort of like indoctrinated people into a system, not just of like microtransactions and whatnot, but of a yearly ritual of playing the next Call of Duty. It's pretty sick. And I think a lot of it reminds me of mobile gaming, where they're searching for whales, which are just like, it's nice to have this many users that are buying the copy or buying the subscription. But what we really want is those people who have absolutely no self-control and will just buy everything on the platform. And they're using the design of these games to manipulate people. I mean, it's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
That's the way everything is. Everything's a scam.
Yes. Everything is a scam. And it's frustrating because, like, again, I'm not literate enough with scams. I don't understand how it works because I don't think that way. Some people, this just comes as naturally as can be. And those are the people who run our society. It's all so stupid. Hey, did you hear about the update to the that Glock put out?
No.
where they were like, oh, yeah, we're going to follow the gun laws now, and now you can't use switches on your Glock. You know what a switch is?
No.
It's like a little attachment you can put on your Glock 19 or 45 or whatever, and you just like turn it, and it turns it into an automatic weapon.
Oh, I've seen those, yeah.
Yeah, so they did something, I think, in California or somewhere, but they're trying to ban switches altogether. So Glock put out a new model of their guns that wasn't going to allow this anymore. Now, the reason I bring this in was I was about to say you need more, like I almost said, you need more regulation on these companies to make sure that they're actually doing business and not just running gigantic scams. But as we have seen, and as we will see in the Glock situation, the government can't do anything. In fact, I was listening to something earlier this week that was like, yeah, so we're so far past having the mandate of the populace or the public to do anything that the government is just actually kind of like in a gridlock. Nothing gets done because everybody has different agendas. Nobody knows why we're doing this anymore. Some people are working. So in the case of like justice, some people are working on behalf of social justice. Some people are working on behalf of enforcing the law. And we have all this nonsense debate about what the police are supposed to do and all this stuff because the country is so diverse, both ideologically, racially, and religiously, that nothing can get done because nobody agrees on anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what does that do? If we have a completely diversified way of thinking and there's no common sense between the people, what does that mean? What does that mean about the public now?
Decisions don't get made.
Decisions don't get made. There's also no understanding of like no agreement of like what we should be doing or what's wrong anymore. And it makes us all atomized little marks to be taken over by scams. That's what it is, right? You want to see this new Glock that they put out? This is it. This is the newly safetyified government regulated Glock.
We got the new Glock 19 CV. This is Glock's answer to everybody putting Glock switches on their stuff. And I don't really, why did they do this?
So California banned them because they wanted to make it so people couldn't readily convert it to a machine gun.
Anyway.
It's they fixed it.
I don't even know how you'd engineer something like that. People are gonna find a way.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a machine gun.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a
they
good
fixed
shot.
it. They fixed it. Thank you, government.
I mean, I don't know. If you're running the country like a prison, you need to know something about prison weaponry.
Yes, that's true.
You literally can't stop people from making shanks. It will happen.
Oh yeah, make a shank out of anything. So people are going to make automatic weapons out of anything. Government regulation, not happening. You know, it's like you know about the ghost gun phenomenon?
Or the 3D printing guns?
Yeah, so 3D printing guns, 80% or 90, even 95% lowers in some states, where you just have to drill a couple holes in a lower receiver of an AR-15 and you have a ghost gun, a gun that the government doesn't have a serial number for and can't track. It's that easy. They sell them in California, whole kits. It's easy. And there's like zero enforcement on any of it because the government doesn't know what to do. I mean, the reason that they invent all these laws is to come after people who are trying to follow them or to find a reason to arrest your ass and give you a felony or whatever. They're not. It's not to get guns off the streets. Are you kidding? Right?
Oh, they really care about us, Aaron, though. They want to keep us safe.
You're right. Sometimes I feel like myself going a little bit more libertarian where I'm like, you know what, just fuck it. We don't need the government. We don't need any of it. And then every now and then I'm like, but we could use like a good one. We could use a good government. And then I just get blackpilled because I'm like, that's never going to happen. You know? In fact, what we're going to get in replacement of all of that is a technocracy. Aren't you excited that we're going to have a whole bunch of robots monitoring all our activity and making sure we're all good boys? That certainly won't be used to be, to like target podcasters or anything. Not a chance.
What, you're not going to buy a Neo and have it do your dishes over the course of 6 hours?
You know what? I might, but I reserve the right to be fully racist against robots the entire time. That's all I'm going to say. In fact, this is going to be me in, 50 years. When we've had technocracy for a good half a century at that point.
So, Grandpa, how's the South been treating you?
Great, ever since I bought this Tesla robot at an auction in Charleston.
Oh, wow. Kind of weird seeing someone like you with one of these.
Everyone in the South has them now. It's a way of life. It might do you well to get yourself a clanker.
What did you just say?
Clanker. That's what they called, ain't it?
Just the way you're saying it sounds really wrong.
He ain't a real person. Maybe a fraction of a person at most. Like half or 3/4. Maybe somewhere in between.
There it is again. The way you're describing him just sounds a little racist.
Boy, you should see the way we talk to the clankers out in the field. This one here gets special treatment because he's a house clanker.
House clanker? This sounds like slavery.
No, you city folk just haven't learned how to adjust to a new way of life.
Sounds like an old way of life.
Here in the South, we love our clankers. We give him shelter, keep him charged, but if he acts up, I will whip him into shape and put him in the hot box.
Hot box? I'm leaving.
The hot box is his charging station, see? It heats up his battery using infrared light.
You're racist, Grandpa!
That's our future. That's going to be us in 50 years. We're just going to be like racist against clankers.
Yeah. I mean, we already are.
Yes, it's true.
For as long as we've had TVs, people have been hitting them.
This is true. This is true. And quite frankly, I mean, after our experiences with Gemini the past couple of weeks, all I feel is like being even more racist toward robots.
Is that the right term, or is it? I guess it wouldn't be speciest.
I don't know, like a tech bigot,
prejudiced.
Yeah, prejudice. Sure.
Robo-cyst.
Sure. But I mean, imagine like in the future, like, and they've already pre-programmed this with Detroit Become Human and iRobot. And, everything else is like, but this robot can feel things. And, even friggin' Wall-E was guilty of this. But it's like, imagine in the future, this isn't that far off. There's going to be robot rights advocates. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
And it's going to be wrong to say clanker.
Oh, man, that opens up a whole can of worms, too.
I wish it weren't so, man. I wish it weren't so. We're going to people go back and listen.
It's reminding me, though, a little bit of like what you would hear in like early conversations about eugenics.
Yeah.
Where they're trying to talk about like levels of IQ based on your race.
Yeah.
It's going to be based on like what chipset these things have. Is
Absolutely.
it capable of this level of thought?
Right.
I don't know.
No, you do know. You know that in 50 years, our grandkids will be listening to this podcast and be like, Grandpa, you're so racist. And I'll be like,
there's going to be a new term.
Yeah, it's true. It will be. What do you think it'll be?
I don't know.
You're a Robo-Hitler. Or something.
I'm sure there's a good pun in there.
Yeah. You want to see a fun one? Since I'll be honest with you, man, most of this show is going to be like politics and stuff that everybody hates.
Yeah. You mentioned that.
I know. I'm sorry. But we do have a lot of it because a lot has been happening this week. But we'll start with a funny one. How's that sound? How about a little bit of AI content? A little more anyway.
Give me some funny stuff. Give me a little truth, and then I'll stomach the politics.
All right. I might have a little truth. I'll have to dig through my clip list here in a second. But this one was going around. People have been putting Tucker Carlson in The Lord of the Rings.
Oh, God.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah. Hit me.
I can't stand the globalists. The goblins hate 1776. George Soros, the Saruman of Middle-earth, has a gay son.
You're late.
A wizard is never late, Tucker Baggins. He arrives precisely when his globalist research is concluded.
Jeez.
Ha 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 ha!
God. Oh, I hate that so much.
Ha 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 ha!
That was
Lord.
That was posted by John C. Dvorak of the No Agenda Show.
That's some pretty bad AI.
I know. I don't know if John can tell the difference though. He looks at it and he just clankers. I can hear it in his voice, can't you? Clankers. He needs to get that. He needs to get that PBR back on the show, or he's gonna lose it. I think this might be a truth. Let me check here. Oh no, that's not a truth. That's ridiculous politics. I just want to know, do I have any truth on here? We kind of have some. We have some half truth. You remember when Epstein didn't exist?
Yeah.
And you remember what happened the moment he was captured and put in jail?
Yeah.
Suddenly that the Epstein conspiracy theorists weren't conspiracy theorists anymore, and then everyone wanted to know who killed him.
Yeah.
So that's your half-truth. We're going to talk a little bit about Epstein because Congress passed a bill this week to declassify all of the Epstein files.
Oh, are they gonna go into a skiff and read it along with the UFO files?
Exactly. That's exactly right. It's just like that. It's like, oh yeah, we'll tell you everything we know about our secret UFO program and contact with interdimensional aliens and all that stuff, and then it's just years and years and years of dragging out disclosure. And everyone's like, this is so totally real. I can't wait until the government reveals that it has alien spaceships. And all they did was just wait for AI where anything could be faked. And now they can just come out and say that's disclosure. And everyone will be like arguing whether it's AI or not. Welcome to the post-truth regime.
Ugh.
Before any of the AI stuff was happening, I was like, they don't got anything. It's made up. It's a bunch of smoke and mirrors. It's a psyop, whatever you want to call it. I don't believe in freaking aliens or spaceships or anything.
Well,
knock on wood.
That's the thing too, is like we have quote unquote eyewitnesses. We have people coming out who are whistleblowers and all this stuff. And it's like, even if you like brought a 2-hour movie that showed all of the craziest footage you had, nobody would believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can fake anything.
Right. They could have faked it with Stanley Kubrick back in the day. Then they could have faked it with CGI and like carefully making it look just like something you'd seen in the movies. They could fake it with AI now. There has never been a time, I must repeat this for the people in the back. There has never been a time in the history of motion media where there hasn't been manipulation of some kind. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's a fact. Like the moment somebody could get a camera and like point it at a real person in the streets, there was another guy on the other side of the planet figuring out how to make it look like he was standing on Mars with a hot woman.
Well, even think about when we were kids and we were making movies, it was like, at first it was like, oh, wow, we can film each other running around the house. And then we started figuring things out like cuts and then eventually sound effects and digital editing. But yeah, like when we first made movies, we would just time the record button and then that was it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm getting at.
No. But then it went to, we can make gun flashes. That was like a big step. We could make ourselves look like we were shooting real guns. We figured out sound effects and sound mastering, mixing music with sound effects and dialogue and all that stuff. Then we were figuring out. Go ahead.
Step one of figuring out creating media is learning how to screw around with it.
Right.
That's the fun of it.
But people who have never worked in it or never had an interest in it, which is fine. Of course it's fine. They don't understand how long the history of lies has been. Like, yeah, it's hilarious that they can put Tucker Carlson's face on this and everyone knows it's fake and like whatever. But like Saturday Night Live would do shit like this for free with just with actors and wigs. And it accomplished the same thing.
Anyway, so you don't got a truth for me? That doesn't count. Doesn't count, Aaron.
The Tucker laugh, man.
Have you ever looked at a flat Earth map of what's beyond the ice wall?
Yes.
I just found one. I had never seen one.
Why were you looking for that while we're recording? Don't you love the show?
No, I found it earlier in the week.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was dicking around on the internet.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm reserving some time in my Sunday afternoon to pore over the map of the real flat Earth.
Is that the one with all the extra continents and things?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Are you sure you got the right one? Because there's a couple of them.
I don't know. I'd have to check. Did you see the one or did we watch that on the show? The one where it said that like Middle Earth is flat Earth?
No.
And like Mordor actually exists.
You're trying to trick me into
no. This is
doing a truth or deep dive right now.
Real, Aaron.
Okay, hold on. Flat Earth, Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Would that find it?
That should find it.
All right. This says debunked.
No. Okay, go down a little bit.
Austin Whitsitt. I know he's big into it.
I don't see it.
Flat Earth is Middle Earth. That sounds like a good truth. I feel disappointed that we don't have that on the list.
I'll see if I can find it in my watch history. Yeah, maybe next time. But
if you do find it, paste it in.
To you.
Yeah, send it. We'll watch it. We'll listen to it or whatever on the show here. So speaking of the government lying and not knowing what to do with communication technology, but just knowing that they can lie better with it. This was an actual ad from the Trump administration this week. Are you ready for this? This is real. I swear.
All right.
One man had a dream his life was meant for more than serving fries. Trump didn't just see Greece. He saw greatness. He didn't just see a fryer. He saw a fresh start for America. This is the tale of the American dream, where nothing is impossible.
Look at the crowd over there. Look how happy everybody is. They're happy because they want hope. They need hope.
Two sides of the same man, two chapters of the same story, from the Golden Arches to the Golden Age.
Oh my God.
It's my honor to introduce to you the 45th and the 47th President of the United States.
He's still campaigning. He's good at that.
Run for the next term.
Yeah. I can't remember who asked me, like, do you think he'll go for a third term? I'm like, are you kidding? He won't. He doesn't have the balls. Sorry. Like, I wish he was the Führer that a lot of people think he is. Like, I wish he would do things that actually count. But he's still just campaigning. Yeah. You remember the whole Dream Team thing that was so attractive during his campaign where it's like, okay, you get Trump, but you also get this whole, like, gang of influential people who are going to fix the country. You had Ramaswamy, you had Musk, you had RFK Jr., you had even freaking Tucker Carlson, Charlie Kirk was out there, all of the not neocons, but conservative right-wing Trumpism, MAGA stuff was congealed into this fantastic McDonald's beef patty of deliciousness that we were all going to get.
And then it's reality hit like a sack of bricks.
It's already over. It's already over. Listen, I want to believe too. That's why I want to watch the rest.
Donald J. Trump.
His list of accomplishments is breathtaking. He's blown up the deep state. He's proven the so-called experts completely wrong. His list of achievements almost endless. Meanwhile, promises made, promises kept.
This administration's moving at political light speed. Today, the flurry continues, and his Sharpie's working harder than Biden ever did.
His Sharpie is working harder than Biden ever did.
Sure. I mean, can't argue with that.
It's true. You can't argue with that. You really can't.
I was going to argue that maybe the Sharpie's not doing any actual works. It's an inanimate object, but then Biden is also an inanimate object. So
this is true. And again, people will say, would you have rather had Kamala Harris? And I'm like, no, you've got me beat there. Like, seriously. But it's like, that's the kind of the nature of it. It's like, you either get the worst, most idiotic person in the world who also sneers and lectures you and is a really annoying woman, or you get a big orange guy who serves McDonald's. And, you know, for me, my vector of voting and how I vote is like, who is funnier? And Trump's funnier. This is fun. This is actually funnier than if Kamala Harris were running things. Because there's only so much schadenfreude you can get out of a person. Right? How about 8 seconds more? We're almost there.
Let's do it.
I'm asking you, just dream big. We're bringing it back. This will be America's new golden age.
I'm feeling it. Are you feeling the golden age?
I don't know.
Are you in?
I mean, if it actually happens.
I think we're a long way off from that. I still hope.
I don't think it can really come down to one political party or one world leader. It's like they all have to get together and decide they want to do something other than screw over the entire planet.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see that happening.
It's not going to happen. It's beyond. We're way past that, because one of the things Trump ran on was revealing the Epstein files, right? And the first thing we got was a bunch of influencers and or Israeli assets walking out of the White House with binders containing printed copies of the Epstein list that's been on the Internet Archive for like 10 freaking years. And all these people were like, I'm going to read it through and I'll tell you what I find. And then they read it through and they found what people who had been reading this stuff on the internet had discovered 10 years ago. There's nothing good in there. It's just useless. It's a bunch of names organized into a list. It's meaningless. And it's redacted on top of it. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where Trump is. He's a marketing genius.
Mm-hmm.
He can say that he's going to take care of all this stuff, but he knew, like, before he was even running for president again, that he wasn't going to do that, because, but that's the thing, is it makes for a great bullet point in your brain. Oh, we're going to find out about the Epstein files. It's like, do you realize how complicated all of that is? And do you know how slow politics moves?
Mm-hmm.
Like it can't move as fast as Trump's mouth. Like, bottom line.
Well, then again, it's like, okay, so what you're telling me is that there is like a filing cabinet somewhere with all this information in it of criminal wrongdoing at the highest levels of our government and elite structure. Most of them are like child molesters and worse, whatever. And nobody can do anything about it because the child molesters haven't voted on it yet.
Oh,
you see how stupid that is, right? So they passed this bill this week, ordering the release of this,
and nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, nothing's gonna happen. Let's hear from Wade's thoughts on this. He actually had a nice short video. I'm losing my love for Mr. Stotts, and I'll tell you why at some other point, but there's this little gang. So, like, the thing that we're really going to talk about here in a minute is the destruction of the beautiful Big Mac beef patty that is the MAGA movement. It's already underway, and it's already too late. And it's only getting weirder. And Wade Stotts is associated with, what's his name? Doug something. Why can't I think of his name? Not Douglas Murray. Douglas Wilson, the pastor who stood up against COVID lockdowns out in Idaho and got famous for it, and then formed Canon Press, which is a whole media operation that's like the new safe right.
Okay.
We'll get to it. Anyway, but here's Wade Stotts talking about the Epstein files. Doesn't go far enough because he's in that little gang, but I think it's still good information.
Well, it happened.
President Trump saying he's now signed the bill to release the Justice Department files on sex offender Jeffrey Epstein after near unanimous pressure from Capitol Hill. The final step to...
I love that. Real quick. He's just a sex offender.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to pull back. You can't go too hard on him.
No, because if you actually if you took any of this to its natural conclusion, it's that there's other Epsteins out there doing what Epstein did. I mean, it's been, 5-6 years since Epstein was suicided? There has to be another one. Do you think these people have gone without feeding on the blood of children for this long? There's another one out there. And we still can't get this one.
To force the Justice Department to turn over everything it has on Epstein within the next 30 days.
Which means we'll have them by December 19th. Think of it as old Jeff's final Christmas card. Inscription, there is no naughty list. So what happens now? Well, I'll tell you what isn't going to happen. The government will not be toppled. If any politician resigns, he or she will just be replaced with someone ideologically identical. And last, Tom Hanks isn't going to jail. He's just going to keep making Toy Story sequels until he goes into the cryo chamber. But what is going to happen? Well, here's my guess. For one, a bunch of new streaming documentaries. We'll get lots of charts.
Oh, sorry.
He's right about that.
He's totally right. And they're all going to be like fake smart. Like it's going to be like a dumb ideas person of what a smart documentary looks like.
Yep.
Oh, Netflix special. The Jeffrey Epstein story. Who was he?
A bunch of new streaming documentaries. We'll get lots of charts about how many times Trump is mentioned in whatever context. And I'll tell you this for sure. No one will be satisfied with the release. Any redactions will be taken as protecting whoever your favorite podcast host already hates.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Who do we hate? They're going to be protected. Ben Shapiro?
Redactions will be taken as protecting whoever your favorite podcast host already hates. Being active on X and being one of the few people still keeping up with late night television, I find myself in a weird spot. I hear these people wanting the exact same thing as these people with the same kind of urgency. And they all seem to think it's the most important thing the government could be doing right now. But if the Epstein files are going to overturn the entire government and media establishment, exposing every person who ever got a movie role or a job in government, why are all these people begging Trump to release them? Did every leftist media figure, every late night comedian suddenly become all caps based, ready to bring down the international pervert cabal that really runs the world? Maybe Stephen Colbert watched a 12-hour BitChute documentary and can now see through the matrix. It could be the case that they're unknowingly asking for the destruction of every corrupt institution in America.
Did you ever watch Snowpiercer?
No.
Put it on your list.
You told me to put it on the list multiple times.
Put it on the list. Watch Snowpiercer. I hate the movie for a lot of reasons, but it's so real, man. It's so real. The guy, so like everyone in the leftist media, Jeffrey Epstein doesn't exist. Alex Jones is peddling conspiracy theories for decades, it felt like. I don't know if it was actual decades, but it was a long time. And then Jeffrey Epstein was in jail, and suddenly he's real. And then it was, there's no one on his list. Don't release the list. And then they found out Trump might be on the list. And they're like, we need the truth, damn it. And that's what he's saying is like now, like, do you think anything's going to happen if all of these people, all of these late night talk show host people are braying for the truth all of a sudden about the Jeffrey Epstein list just because they hate Trump? The reason they're calling for it now is because they know they're not on it. They've been assured that they are under the dragon's wing and protected. Otherwise, they wouldn't risk it, right?
Yeah.
Obvious.
What is the term? There's a term in writing. Is it the MacGuffin? Something that exists just to move the plot forward?
Yeah.
That's what Epstein feels like. He feels like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. He's the sacrificial goat, is what he is. So the reason I asked about Snowpiercer is the movie is basically this. There's a train at the end of the world. It's the only one that's still running, and it's running through the snow, therefore Snowpiercer, right? And it's organized by class. At the back of the train are the plebs. In the middle of the train are the middle class, who are all like retarded, but have like some level of privilege and are basically there as a buffer between the people at the back and whoever's running the train. And so the story is that there's a guy trying to get to the front of the train to basically get what he deserves, some revenge. I don't remember. But as he progresses through the cars, it gets weirder and weirder and weirder. And right before he gets to the very front of the train, he goes through the elite level. And these people are all just like doing drugs, drinking, smoking dope or whatever the hell, and just like doing all this degenerate, debauched stuff. And they think that they're on top of the world. Now, what I see this as with Jeffrey Epstein at this point is all those people have still been partying the whole time he's been dead. But what appears to have happened is that those people near the front sent back one of their own to say, this guy runs the train. This guy's the one driving this whole thing. Kill him. And then they killed him, right?
Yep.
And now they're all like, we can go back to partying. All of our stuff can be put onto the sacrificial goat of Jeffrey Epstein. And now they want it released. It's ridiculous. Why do we have to put up with this? Why can't we just count on the idea that a game company must make games that people buy or it goes out of business? Why do we have to take it for granted that the people at the front of the train are just awful and screwing us over at every possible opportunity? Why do we accept that? Why? Because there's a big freaking buffer between us and them. That's called the midwits. You have to argue. It's like, what's the point? It's like, for example, I know this is a rant, but I apologize. But people come here for our lukewarm hot takes, right? So what is the situation with the midwits? People at the back of the train are going, we don't need any more people here. We're already starving and jobs aren't paying enough. We're getting replaced by AI and, imports from other countries. There are no more jobs. There's no more housing. People are accepting that they're not going to have children and that sort of thing. Very simple. Like, we can't live a normal life. And then in the middle, the midwits are just there fighting, arguing, bitching. They're saying, we have to provide refugee status because our hearts feel bad for them. And they're also saying, but we need immigrants for the economy. And then there's some saying that we don't need that many immigrants for the economy. And we can accept refugees, but not from Muslim countries. And then the bottom line is, while the midwits are arguing about that, and there's all these podcasts and debates that go on about, is immigration good for the economy? Right? At the bottom of it is still the question, how many freaking people are coming in, man? And the midwits are like, oh, blah, 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 blah. They're like busybodies, right? They're just so distracted by, is it good for the economy? Nonsense. Bottom line, how many friggin' people are coming in? Why are there that many people coming in? So I guess that's, I don't know how that's related to Jeffrey Epstein, but I had to get that out. I apologize. Should we carry on?
I guess one thing I could say about that is that they give you comfortable arguments to have, but if you really want to get to the truth, you have to be the guy that walks all the way to the front of the train.
That's
right.
And
there's a lot of stuff in the way, and it's not just the arguments of the midwits. It's It getting to the real truth takes serious risk, and you will probably die. And if you get far enough ahead on the train, they'll probably go after everybody that you ever knew and loved.
Yeah, well, the midwit.
That's how deep the evil goes.
Yeah, the midwit thing's is shorthand because the people in front of you blocking you from getting to the front of the train, blocking you from getting to the. from getting to the point are people who look like your family, friends, and coworkers. Don't go out there. Don't go out there. One of my favorite memes is the fix everything switch. Have you seen this?
I don't think so.
It's pretty new. It's just a picture of a light switch, and it's just called the fix everything switch. And all around it is just a bunch of noisy comments like, no, that wouldn't actually fix everything. Don't you dare think about hitting that switch. Stop thinking about the switch. You're evil. You're basically Hitler if you think about hitting that switch. And it's like, fix everything switch. Why don't we hit the fix everything switch? What are we doing? Why do midwits and people who are trapped in their narratives in their head, why don't they want to know? Why don't they want to know what is actually behind all of this stuff? It's because they're... Go ahead, sorry.
It threatens their comfort.
Yes.
At the very least.
Yeah. It threatens their paradigm. Midwits... I'm sorry, not midwits, but yes, midwits and people in the middle live in a world of dreams. You can change the world with stories because you can make the midwits shift. When midwits move, it's over, but it takes a lot to freaking move them. And so right now, what appears to be happening is the midwits are just, they don't know what to believe anymore. It's just truth and facts and lies and propaganda. And this CNN said that, Fox said that. I saw my streamer say this. Blah, 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 blah. They're just, they're under fire from all directions. They don't know what to believe anymore. It can't go on forever. But once they figure out what it is, what the vector is, once they finally connect the dots there, that's when things are going to change, I think. But anyway, let me get back to this. We've got, what's this guy's name? I forget his name.
Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, we got Stephen Colbert seeing through the Matrix. That's where we left off.
Through the Matrix. It could be the case that they're unknowingly asking for the destruction of every corrupt institution in America. Maybe we're experiencing an historic realignment when everyone wakes up and focuses on the real issues. We'll see. My guess, though, is that if all these people want this stuff, it's not going to improve the country in any meaningful way. Contrast that with the effects of, say, Trump's immigration policies. Over the past year, 2.5 million native-born Americans gained employment and 670,000 foreign-born workers lost employment. 3.4 million native-born Americans joined the labor force. 708,000 foreign-born workers left the labor force. As Stephen Miller said, this is the first time this has happened in our lifetimes. We're on track to have negative net migration for the first time in at least 50 years. The foreign-born population is shrinking for the first time since the 60s, and that can only...
There are lies, damned lies, and statistics, right? This is why I don't really like Wade very much anymore, because he's still very much like, Trump's going to fix it. Like, he knows enough to know that that's not true. But he still shills for Big Trump. Anyway.
Be the beginning. Along with the job market, this affects home prices, rent prices, schools, traffic, welfare programs, emergency room wait times, healthcare prices. And how about releasing the Epstein files? Well, maybe some people will go to jail. Maybe there will be some peace for the victims. But it's not going to turn America into either Jetson's World or revolutionary France. And one point on file dumps in general. The truth is, America going down the tubes has never been an information problem. We already have enough information to do what needs to be done to make America great again. I'm all for big data dumps, especially if they help put people in jail. But information by itself doesn't solve the problem. And because we're so divided, there's not going to be some new consensus as to what should be done about all this information once we have it. Someone has to decide. We didn't start fixing the border crisis because we finally had enough data. They just decided to start doing what it takes. As much as we make fun of the left for having a Marvel or Star Wars vision of reality, there's a piece of that in all of us. If I drop the laser bomb in just the right spot, the whole Death Star explodes and I get a medal. The truth is that solving our problems is going to take a lot more time and effort than that. So it's not that the left suddenly wants to get to the bottom of the adrenochrome trade, and it's not that Marjorie Taylor Greene has suddenly become a leftist. All of these people just have scores to settle with Trump, while also having a delusional picture of how to save the world. It would have been better for everyone's grift if Trump had just refused to sign the bill, but he signed it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I guess we'll all know when we open the worst Christmas gift ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a giant nothing burger.
It's a nothing burger. I mean,
I mean, just in terms of like the government releasing information, I'm just thinking back to reading or listening to Lou Elizondo's book about UFO disclosure. I think he published it earlier this year, and it's titled Imminent. And I'm just like, that title's going to get worse like every year because nothing's going to happen.
No.
Every time he's on anything, like, I've got the documents, I've been in these meetings and these hearings, blah, blah, blah. It's like, who's the guy? Jeremy Corbell. Everybody hates that guy. He runs the, what do they call it? Weaponized podcast, which is about UFOs and whistleblowers and crap. And it's just, every episode is such a nothing burger. I think that's what this is. I think it's just it's a curiosity.
Yeah.
It's like a Call of Duty release. Like every year we're going to get the same rehashed information. And there's people that are like, oh, this is the big one. This is it. It's like, no, all of the things that matter are already like under 50 layers of control.
Yeah. Yeah. There's two things.
Let's be honest. There's too much good blackmail. There's too much money to be made. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. There's actually two things about Wade's video that I want to just point at here. And I'll forget the second one by the time I finish with the first one. So I apologize. That is my way. I will do my best.
Well, the one that's bothering me is the box that says screws and tools on it.
Oh, well, that's always been a part of his setup. Come on now. We've watched enough of this. It's the bit where he says that we don't need any more information. We just needed somebody to start implementing what we already knew.
Border crisis because we finally had enough data. They just decided to start doing what it takes.
But they're not doing what it takes. This is why I can't take Wade that seriously anymore. That's point one. Point two is right after that, where he says, we all want to believe that if we fire the laser bomb at the right spot, the Death Star will blow up.
Star Wars vision of reality, there's a piece of that in all of us. If I drop the laser bomb in just the right spot, the whole Death Star explodes and I get a medal. The truth is,
that's actually largely true, except there's a lot of Death Stars. That's the only problem, right? There are presuppositions in our logic and our storytelling in American culture that if we could just target them and eliminate them, half of our problems would be gone overnight. It's too big, though. It's too big of a goal. But yes, in everyone's brains, the majority of Americans' brains, there are just a few things that in order to upend everything, you would just have to just turn those over. That's it.
The problem is like Ubisoft, we're too afraid to look at the actual situation. We're so used to having backdoor deals and tricks to get us out of trouble.
Oh yeah.
And it just seems it's that way with everything, where there's like insurance for any problem. You can't just like go and solve the problem. It's like going to Home Depot. How many trips do you have to make to fix the sink?
Right.
You know.
Well, that's the thing is it's just like the fix everything switch. There is a fix everything switch, and we have all been trained our entire lives. Don't look there. Don't do that. Don't you dare hit the fix everything switch. I think it's actually called
of what you're going to say next.
Well, it's called the fix everything easily switch. Right? And no, I'm not going to say what's next because I don't know. And what that is, I don't exactly know either, but I think we get a lot closer to it when we stop lying to ourselves and we start saying, all right, it's not about the economy. It's not about refugee status. It's not about helping everyone. Like America is not a hotel for the planet. It's also not a hostel for the planet. And the people that think so are crazy. Very simple. Fix everything? I mean, I don't know. I'm a podcaster, man. I don't have answers like that. Do you want to do donations and then carry on? Do you need a break?
No, I'm thinking about my example of going to Home Depot. Like the problem with like solving issues is you have to be okay with screwing up and you have to be okay with losing resources in the process.
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Psychologically, that's what keeps me from completing a lot of projects around the house. Is I'm like, well, if I go to home, if I want to fix that, then I got to go and buy these things, and then I'm going to screw it up, and then I'm going to waste the material, and then it's going to be a whole thing. So I'd rather not just do it because it's just too much work. I think we're kind of in a similar situation in mass psychology because most of our problems can be resolved with one tap on your phone.
Yes.
Maybe that's a little bit of a stretch when we're talking about like government and managing the country, but it also ties in with like how Trump gets people to buy his message. Oh, it really is that easy. It's like, no, even when you're the president of the United States and you got all your people that you like in the right place, there's just too many variables for it to be that simple. Anyway.
Yep. Well, we can sit here and we can talk about how podcasting is going to fix the world and that sort of thing. But there's some realities, unfortunately.
We still need money.
Always remember to stack that bread, neighbor.
And we, of course, have some people to thank for this show. Not that many, though. Unfortunately. But that's okay. That's totally fine. That is totally fine. Because we have some very loyal people who give every week, and it's so nice to hear from them. If you, too, would like to support the show, there is a link in the description. Send as much as you like. We read notes on the air. And that's that. Don't mean to sound ungrateful. We know there's more people out there, but the reality is, Adam, here's the sad truth about why people don't give.
We're not that funny.
No. The sad truth is people don't know how to click buttons on their phone. I know, it sounds crazy, but they think that it's just beyond them to scroll down and hit the Stripe link in the description and just send $1. They're like, I'm too dumb for that. I can't figure that out. Somebody else will do it. Maybe today, that somebody else will be you. But in the meantime, we have Tom with 555, and because I haven't played it in a while, here it is. 555. Tom says, haven't been around lately, been fighting some demons. Holy shit, he's fighting freaking demons?
I wouldn't be surprised if he was being literal about that.
I'm telling you, that's freaking Tom for you. We know that there's a lot of demons in Texas. They just erected a giant statue to a demon. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it in Texas. God is watching, but so is Tom. He said, here's my Fiat Fund coupons for your trouble. Exactly. Stay frosty, my friends. You're so powerful. By St. Alex Jones. Where is it? How about this one?
They're all dead, you dumb son of a bitch! What the fuck? Oh, you're so powerful.
Yeah, I got them both. I had to let Alex buy me some time while I hunted for that button. Next up, we have Barras again with 333. He says, I appreciate the authenticity and the 5 out of 5 star soundboard Hobbit riff. You know what? I'll give you the Hobbit riff, but I like the full version of that better.
White butt statue.
I like those better. Well, they go better together. And then last but not least, we have a new $2 member on the Patreon for We Talk About Dead People, which is hilarious. Some people are still like listening to the back catalog of that show, and they're still donating money, even though I haven't made an episode in years now. Because guess what? It's evergreen content. And probably this person is hoping I'll come back. That goes to, thank you, Dobby. Dobby has donated a sock to our cause, Adam. So we are now free. All right. You ready for some politics? Even though we already did a little bit of it, I guess. Yeah. I know.
I don't understand anything about politics. I'm just here to watch.
And, well, exactly.
Try and be funny.
The political system doesn't matter anymore. What matters is the television, the screens, and the narrative, right? I think it's safe to. I think it's safe to say, easy. It's easy. People live in their screens, and so that's where you want to get a lot of territory, you know. But the big story is that Marjorie Taylor Greene is stepping down from Congress. Do you know who Marjorie Taylor Greene is? We've only heard from her a couple of times on this show.
I remember hearing that name a lot around 2019.
She is the Q conspiracy theorist who joined the government.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I believe she was the one to introduce the bill that Trump signed disclosing the Epstein files. I believe that. I'm not sure I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Either way, she was the one pushing for it hard, and she was getting savaged for a long time, by myself included, because she sounds silly. She just looks like a soccer mom who decided she was going to talk to the manager. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But she has parted ways with Trump, who she, campaigned for and did all this crazy stuff for, believed was going to fix things. But after the last couple of weeks of blackpilling, she's just done. And so she released a resignation letter, which she read on a video, and I predict that she will be on Tucker Carlson before long to explain herself.
Through it all, I never changed or went back on my campaign promises and only disagreed in a few areas, like my stance against H-1Bs replacing American jobs, AI state moratoriums, debt for life 50-year mortgage scams, standing strongly against all involvement in foreign wars, and demanding the release of the Epstein files.
Run for president. I'll vote for you. On those things alone, I'll vote for you. Please, for the love of God, make AI stop. Please. I really don't like the idea of a woman president, but anybody running to stop those freaks in their data centers, I will vote for. I don't care. Sorry.
Can they stop everybody else from doing it, though?
No, they can't. Government's powerless. That's the lesson we're learning here, is that the government is only doing one thing, and that's covering its own ass. It doesn't do anything else. It's too corrupt. So Elon Musk put out a feature on Twitter this week that allows you to see where people's accounts were created on Twitter, which is brand new. I've been wanting this for a really long time because I'm really tired of seeing Marblehead statue profile pictures pretending to be from like America, and then you just quickly figure out that they're just an Indian farming you.
Yeah.
All of those guys like quit the site because of this feature. But the freaking Department of Homeland Security, it was revealed before it was somehow covered up. If you clicked on the profile of the Department of Homeland Security and you saw where the account was created, guess where it freaking was created? Guess.
Where what account was created?
The Department of Homeland Security.
Is it the greatest country in the world?
Yes. It was created in Israel. And now they covered it up. They're like, it's totally fake. Everyone's making these as a joke. And then the zone got flooded with all these fake things, like saying this account's Indian, this account's Qatari, right? But the Department of Homeland Security one got totally scrubbed. Now it just doesn't tell you. My freaking account says it was made in America or the United States or whatever. But the Department of Homeland Security, for one glorious minute, I suppose, was revealed to have been created in the state of Israel. I have a video of it, actually. It's silent. All it is scrolling through stuff and then clicking on the profile, and there it is. Yep, account created in Israel. So someone asked Grok what the explanation was for this, and it was like, well, the United States depends on Israel for a lot of IT security, so it's possible that because of proxies and VPNs and all of that crazy stuff you would never understand, the country of origin in which this account was created was just accidentally Israel. It could have been any country, but it just happened to be Israel.
Yeah, it's just a coincidence.
It's just a coincidence. But anyway, yes, Marjorie Taylor Greene was running on some very America first things, and that's what she's running. The woman got her start on social media on friggin' Gab, dude. Gab is dead. Nobody's been on Gab for a long time. It was the conservatives' answer to Twitter before Elon bought it during COVID because people wanted to spread information about how to get healthy and how to avoid getting vaccinated. That's where Gab got most of its traffic. That's where I first heard about Marjorie Taylor Greene. She was a Q poster on Gab. Okay? Nonetheless, these positions are very, very America first. Very, very good for all of us. To just no H-1Bs, no AI, no 50-year mortgages, no foreign wars. I mean, I don't know how I can be clear, how she be clear about that. Those are amazing things. But now she's parting ways with Trump.
And jobs, AI state moratoriums, debt for life 50-year mortgage scams, standing strongly against all involvement in foreign wars, and demanding the release of the Epstein files. Other than that, my voting record has been solidly with my party and the president. Loyalty should be a two-way street, and we should be able to vote our conscience and represent our district's interests because our job title is literally representative. America first should mean America first and only Americans first, with no other foreign country ever being attached to America first in our halls of government. Standing up for American women who were raped at 14 years old, trafficked and used by rich, powerful men should not result in me being called a traitor and threatened by the President of the United States, whom I fought for.
Yeah, but the government can't do anything. I wonder why the government's strategy was to sell itself out and reduce its enforcement ability to that of like less than a mall cop. Why would you do that? Why would a government do that? Be like, yeah, well, we've decided to stop taking care of things, and we've sold ourselves out so strongly we can't protect our borders and we can't protect our citizens. And you know what? We don't even care anyway. Disaster relief in a hurricane zone in the heartland of America? No, can't be bothered. Did Israel's check clear? Did Ukraine's check clear? Who are these people in these flyover states? Nonsense. Don't worry about them, man. It's like, this is a Mr. Smith, or this is a Mrs. Smith Goes to Washington situation. Marjorie Taylor Greene was always ridiculous, right? She was always ridiculous. But when she's making statements like this, I'm just nodding and going, yeah, yes, all of our people should represent us. But they don't. They don't know us.
I think calling it a Mrs. Smith Goes to Washington is pretty on point. But also, and I'm not trying to throw shade at Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm just thinking, like, you kind of have to be a real idiot if you think you can go in there by yourself and change things. You have to have some kind of level of self-delusion where you think that, oh, once you get there, it's not going to be so corrupt you literally can't help. They don't want people like you who give a crap. They don't want you, because that the whole thing is run on avoiding responsibility as much as possible. It's a party. Yeah. Just like in Snowpiercer.
It's a party and you're not in it. Now, I think we can at least appreciate that she tried and it didn't work, and now we can all go, okay, so there is no political solution.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that's true.
All right. Yeah. We needed a soccer mom to prove that to us. But anyway, so her resignation letter was 10 minutes long when read, and honestly, I was a little sad because I like making fun of her, but in good fun. It'll be interesting to see what she pivots to. Some people are saying she's going to go into television. Good Lord, I hope not. Some people are saying she's going to get into podcasting and like truth telling. Good Lord, I hope not. I don't know what she's going to do, but I think she did her job.
Yeah, we just need like 5,000 of her.
No, we need like, well, we need a lot. We need tougher people than Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'll tell you that much. But
yeah, that's true.
So she's done, and that's okay. You know, In the meantime, everyone is still, of course, freaking out about, can you believe this? The Nick Fuentes Tucker Carlson interview.
I really got to listen to that thing.
Right? People are acting like the man friggin' resurrected Hitler and had a podcast with him. Everyone would want to hear that. But it's been weeks of like Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro and all of Conservative Inc. just going off like how horrible it was that Tucker Carlson talked to that awful anti-Semite Nick Fuentes. Ridiculous. It was an interview. It was a podcast.
Did you listen to the whole thing?
I did.
What'd you think?
It's a freaking podcast. I don't know what to tell you. It's an interview between two men who work in the media and made their livings independently in the media. That's what I got out of the conversation. I don't, like I've said before, I don't listen to Nick Fuentes. I always tune into Tucker because, well, quite frankly, his interviews are really good and I like learning from them. And that can be for technique or how to ask questions or just because it's entertaining, right? I tuned out the one about friggin' chemtrails and things like that. Didn't care much about that. And I don't really care about the ones about health truth. That's just boring to me. But I absolutely listened to the Nick Fuentes Tucker Carlson interview. Are you kidding? How could I miss that? Especially after Mark Levin was so apoplectic about the freaking thing.
It seems so obvious that you shouldn't give free press to people that you don't like. Like Mark Levin talking about it, like maybe it gets him more clicks, but it's like, if you really want this guy to go away, you should just probably ignore it.
Right.
But then the lady doth protest too much, and all of a sudden I'm like, well, I might go listen to that.
But see, that's
what everybody's so angry about.
This is a marker that we're dealing with, again, Israel or Israeli people who work for Hasbara, is the way that they do PR management when there's something they don't like is they take a combative stance. They roll out $7,000 for TikTokers. They get their guys on podcasts. They start supporting people who are Zionists, like with money. They're just like, we'll just throw money at all these people and that'll fix it. We're going to take a combative stance and we're going to make sure everyone knows we don't approve of Nick Fuentes. The best strategy you could use, and this is, we learned this from freaking whatever her name was. Remember when we did the PR disaster intervention and we got that PR manager as a joke from YouTube?
Yeah.
She was like, looked like she just got like a real estate license and that now she does PR.
Yeah.
The number one thing is don't give it fuel. Number one thing, don't give it noise. Don't pretend like it's the worst thing in the world. Just be like, oh, well, it's too bad. And yes, of course we regret these things, but we move on and that's how we're going to handle this situation as well. Yeah. Next question. Like that's how you're supposed to handle it. You're not supposed to go, oh my God. He talked to Nick Fuentes. You don't do that because everyone goes, who? Why are you so mad about this? And then they go listen to it and they're like, I didn't get anything out of that. Or it was a podcast. But what happened, and I thought of this, I woke up in the middle of the night and I thought it was the funniest thing in the world, which frequently happens. When I come up with a joke in the middle of the night, I like wake up and I'm like, oh my God, that's so good. And I write it down in my phone. And then when I wake up the next morning, I'm like, ha ha ha, I want to relive that experience. And I'll go pick it up and it'll just be like pepperoni, vegetable. Right? Like that kind of thing. And I'll be like, this isn't funny at all. So I came up with something. So what happened when all of this started taking off and Levin and Shapiro weren't getting the influence that they wanted to have was the people trying to destroy the Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens alliance started sending out and supporting other little guys who were trying to make it in Conservative Inc. And the joke that I came up with in the middle of the night, I'll tell you in a minute. Here's one. This guy came out of nowhere, and this whole thing was like, dear Groypers. Nick Fuentes' guys are called Groypers.
Why?
I don't know. It's an old meme. I remember the first time I heard it, I'm like, that sounds disgusting.
It sounds like a gaming term.
Yeah, it does sound like a gaming term. But there were a ton of these videos that came out that were like Dear Groypers. And they were like, man to man, being a man is about this, and being an incel on the internet is bad. Why don't you have no children? Out of the woodwork. They just came out of the woodwork. Here's one of them.
Every once in a while, you've got to stop, take a breath, and say out loud the thing everyone else is thinking, but nobody wants to say. That's what this episode is about. This one isn't aimed at Washington or Hollywood or the left. It's aimed at us, at our own backyard, at the people with microphones, cameras, and platforms who claim to speak for the movement I love and the one I'm trying to build for my kids. Because somewhere along the way, conservative media stopped being about ideas and started being about attention. We stopped chasing truth and started chasing traffic. And if we don't talk about that honestly, we're going to lose more than followers. We're going to lose our integrity.
I don't know, Adam. This man feels perfectly authentic to me and totally real.
Oh, God.
You want to hear something absolutely retarded? You're going to get a kick out of this.
Sure.
Okay. You see his microphone there? Describe it for the audience. Well, first of all, let me just describe the scene, okay? You've got a bald man with a big beard that's perfectly groomed. His head is freshly shaved. He's wearing a flannel shirt, right? He's got a very fancy watch, a wedding ring prominently displayed. He's got a Yeti mug that says "We the People" on it. He has a picture of Abraham Lincoln in the background and another of Ronald Reagan. It's out of focus, but it's there. And then a big book, presumably the Bible, lit up on a shelf. This is conservative slop, this guy, right? Right?
I'm trying to determine if it's AI.
Very good. I don't think it is. And you know how I know?
Huh.
It's the microphone. Describe this microphone to our listeners, please.
It's on a stand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what details to point out. It just looks like a generic microphone.
What shape is it?
It's like a cylinder / rectangle.
Yeah, you see this bit in the middle right here? This right here is the actual microphone, and this square shaped thing around it, this is the windscreen / case for the actual diaphragm that receives the noise right here.
Okay.
You see that? If you shined a bright light through it, you'd see that the microphone is actually circular. All right, this is not a real microphone. You know how I know?
How?
Because if you look down below here, you see another.
Okay.
You see a lavalier microphone pinned to the bottom of this fake microphone. You see that?
Yeah.
I should take a screenshot for the Telegram. It's unreal. This man is faking having a microphone. He lobbed up a microphone. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so guys like this are coming out of the woodwork and they're just shaming you for having thoughts of your own. How dare you? I wonder what he did with his eyelashes. They don't exist here.
So today, I'm not doing a guest interview. I'm not doing a quick reaction show. This is a full conversation. One long, honest monologue about what's gone wrong inside our own ranks and how we fix it. It's not comfortable, but it's necessary. And I promise you, it's coming from a place of love. Love for this country, love for truth, and love for the people who still believe those things matter.
Would you listen to this?
He just looks so fake.
I know. Here's another one. I'm sorry. No, please. Do you want to see another one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So here's another one that came out of the woodwork, just suddenly appeared.
I really do wonder. I really do wonder why exactly this movement, this anti-Israel movement, is so predominant in my generation. Again, I'm Gen Z, okay? So I'm seeing this from the inside. I saw the death of Charlie Kirk and I said, wait a minute. This is the last guy for my generation. This is the last guy from my generation to argue for a pro-Israel position, of whom is influential. There's maybe a couple other guys. Largely, they don't even really exist.
Would you listen to this guy?
No.
Okay. You want to see another one? Oh, do you recognize this one?
Oh,
yeah.
I don't remember his name, but I recognize him.
John Doyle. I played a clip of him probably 2 months ago. He talks fast. I remember you saying that specifically.
Yeah.
All right. He got a job with the Blaze out of nowhere.
Oh, good.
And he quit YouTubing. So here's John Doyle coming out doing exactly what Wade Stotts was doing. This shilling for Trump as opposed to, reality.
Nobody wants to win better than Trump. All they want to do is default to trying to help liberals win, basically. You get to go on TV and you get to have your integrity complimented. Ooh, Thomas Massey, you're a good boy. You have integrity. You'll work against Trump. Marjorie Taylor Greene, thank you for coming on 2 months after Charlie Kirk was assassinated to apologize about how you've been toxic in politics. It's cowardice, that's all it is. And liberals will help you. They'll cheer you on, of course, but that doesn't actually make anything better for Republicans and for patriots. You're betraying them, actually.
So I'm seeing all these clips of all these conservative influencers coming out of nowhere, besmirching, I say, the good name of Marjorie Taylor Greene and basically anybody who's trying to hold Trump accountable for the bullshit we've been seeing for the past month, the failures that we've been seeing for the past month. And they're going, you just don't trust the plan enough. Marjorie Taylor Greene was literally a Q plan truster. She trusted the plan. And when she got in there, she learned some really hard lessons that all of us who have an IQ over 100 already knew. It's corrupt. There's nothing you can do. But God bless Marjorie Taylor Greene for going out there and holding Trump's feet to the fire. At least she has integrity. And that's what John Doyle is mocking here. So we have the lineup. We have Gates Garcia. We have whoever this weirdo is. We have John Doyle. Yeah?
Oh, I thought I saw his name, but I didn't.
No. So they're just out of nowhere. Suddenly there is life. And so after seeing all of these clips and going to bed one night, I woke up at probably 1:30 in the morning laughing. And you know what I wrote down in my phone for these guys?
I have no idea.
Sea monkeys.
What?
Sea monkeys. You remember sea monkeys?
Yeah.
You remember what they are?
Plankton or something?
They're little prepackaged little things, and you just dump them in the water, and suddenly life comes out of nowhere. Sea monkeys.
You need a little magnifying glass to see them swimming around.
Yeah. But you zoom in real close, and they got that Trump hat on, and they're like, "How dare Marjorie Taylor Greene speak against our God Emperor Donald Trump?"
I hope the recording's picking you up because I didn't hear any of that.
Well, it definitely is, but that's the thing. It's like you zoom in and it's just a bunch of Trump hats, and then they die in a week. And that's what's going to happen to all of these guys. They got their cash. John Doyle had a good YouTube channel. He was doing well enough, and then he took a deal with the Blaze, and now he's just bought and paid for it. He is a slave. Quite frankly, with what he had going, he is the dumbest Zoomer I have ever seen in my life. Zero awareness. And I understand he's getting paid now, and he's probably, I need to pay the bills or whatever. It's over. Doyle will never come back. And he had a promising career ahead of him. And all he has to do is just not talk about what all of us know. And that is the government is compromised by a foreign country. Bottom line, he can never say that.
But he can say a whole bunch of other stuff real quick.
Oh, yeah.
So he must know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Can we take a quick break?
Yeah, totally.
Hello?
Hey.
Yep.
Welcome back. You ready to keep going?
I'm interested to see where all this is going to go.
Oh, boy. Well, so the the conservative implosion is happening at a rapid rate, and it's all around this one topic, Israel. And one side is going, these people are anti-Semitic schizophrenics. And there's another side going, all we need is just Reaganism, or something like that.
It's interesting how this is basically exactly what happened to the left. Is when the Israel versus Palestine thing came out, they just ate each other.
That's true. Except the only difference is that it wasn't like a 50-50 split. When the Israel problem started with the war with Palestine and October 7th and all of that stuff, like the lefties knew what side they stood firmly on. Like it, and a lot of them, who didn't get it at first, joined up. They moved over. And then a lot of people who were like somehow pro-Israel on the left just said, suddenly I find myself wanting to vote for closed borders, and I find myself not hating Trump as much, and something is happening. I'm now America first. I mean Trump first, or whatever. And they converted to conservatives. But the left is extremely united on being anti-Israel. Their reasons are, leftist reasons, of course. But there is an integrity there that actually does exist. They 100%, the bug brain, the bug mind of the left does agree on one thing, and that is Israel is no good. You want to see how high up this Nick Fuentes Tucker Carlson interview went?
I briefly saw an old man on the screen that I have seen before.
Yeah, that's Chuck Schumer. Nick Fuentes' interview with Tucker Carlson went all the way to Congress. Yeah.
God, don't you guys have anything better to do?
No, obviously not.
And finally, on anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism in America has reached a dangerous tipping point. Jewish Americans are facing threats, harassment, and violence at levels we have not seen in generations. And as I have said many times in this chamber, anti-Semitism is the canary in the coal mine. Where there's anti-Semitism, there lurks white supremacy and other pernicious forms of hate. Well, 3 days ago, the President of the United States declined to condemn Nick Fuentes' hateful views and defended Tucker Carlson's decision to give Fuentes a platform. The President was asked about his thoughts on the interview. He declined to condemn Nick Fuentes. That is disgusting. For Donald Trump to excuse and protect the spread of Nick Fuentes' ideology confirms what many of us have long said. White supremacy and anti-Semitism are taking deep roots, unfortunately, within the Republican Party. Just as we saw from the leaked texts of young Republicans, just as we saw from text messages of administration officials, the Nick Fuentes saga on the right reveals that anti-Semitism and white supremacy have been growing with disturbing currency within the right wing.
Now, dear listeners, I know many of you are like hitting the skip button because this is painful to listen to. I know I would. Isn't this just tired? Are we a bunch of children? We're not. You can't listen to that guy. He might convert your dumb brain. Really, man?
Yeah.
We're tired of being talked to like this. You have any thoughts on this so far?
I think it's almost so dumb how hard they're going on this. Like it's going to achieve the exact opposite of what they want, but I don't think they're so stupid they don't know that.
I don't know, man. I'm starting to think that they are.
You might be right. They might be not stupid, but they might have tunnel vision.
Yes.
You know, because it's like don't hang out with that guy because he's a bad influence. It's like, well, what are you the most interested in, right? The most interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
And usually, like, especially like when you're talking to like children, oh, don't go outside after dark. You know, it's dangerous. Like, that's exactly what they're gonna do.
I think you said it perfectly. It's tunnel vision.
Yeah, and nobody wants to listen to you, Senator Chuck Schumer. Sorry, you're old and boring and annoying.
Bingo.
This is like the guy who called in on Mark Levin's show and just started saying like shoop da whoop doop poop da doop.
Yeah.
It's like you idiots don't realize who you're dealing with. You're dealing with people who are so retarded that they're smarter than you.
Yes. You're dealing with
made them that way.
Right. You're dealing with people who are culture jamming you because that's all they have left. You're dealing with people who are invoking the name of Adolf Hitler because F you. That's why. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. It's because you said they couldn't. They're turning over the rock because they suspect that there are weapons under there. You see? The one thing you've been screeching about for a century is Hitler. It's the only thing that is consistent across both parties. You are not listening to your people anymore. They're looking for weapons. Where should they look? Should they look in the backyard? Should they look in the shed? Should they look in the basement? Or should they look in the giant vault that says, under no circumstances can you open this vault? No. You're too retarded to open this vault. You can't handle what's inside. If you open it, you'll become a Nazi. Where are you going to look for guns? In the friggin' cookie jar? Or are you going to look in that vault? That's all that's happening. That's all that's happening. But these boomers can't understand that. They can't see meta-narratives. They have tunnel vision. They can't see that information is the weapon. It's not
they
people
also
that
don't realize that the populace is becoming immune to scams. I wouldn't say immune, but they're getting wise to base level scams or manipulation because they are manipulated every second of every day by the objects in their pockets.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like we've been talking about their bad PR for years, but it's like they really just don't get it. You need to innovate. And maybe that's what they're trying to set up is a repeat of what has given them basically like a get out of jail free card forever. Maybe that's how far they're thinking ahead, but no, honestly, I think it's just straight up laziness. We can't innovate.
Yeah.
We can't get the people to listen to us anymore, so we'll just talk down to them. Well, sorry. Class is out of session. And your authority ends at the door.
This is what you get when you're living in a geriocracy.
Yeah.
These are old problems, old things. These are old people problems. That's why it's a little depressing to see John Doyle, who seemed to have his finger on the pulse of some things, just go out there and all he's doing is saying boomer talking points faster. Because Gen Z likes fast, right? They have the attention span of a goldfish. So we got to just do it fast and hit them with it and just bombard them with information, but it's just boomer talking points about boomer questions, boomer problems. Pass the freaking torch, man. But
there's a power vacuum forming here. And,
go on.
I think it's probably going to be filled by corporations and technology. You know, we've been on this like religious road for a very long time as humanity.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's not working anymore. It just isn't. Like, especially when your science has allegedly or supposedly done away with God. It's done away with ethics, morality, things that we all thought we kind of knew. Nothing's real anymore. And like now we're just kind of searching for the things we can throw out, the things that are baggage.
Yeah.
And stuff like this it's just baggage.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, again, when, people, God, I'm sorry, I keep making analogies to video games, but yeah, there was going to be a time where the Marvel movies suddenly stopped being cool. There was going to be a time where Call of Duty didn't sell like hotcakes. Everything must come to an end.
Yes. Yes. Let it go. To quote Star Wars, let the past die. Kill it if you have to. That's Gen Z's stance on this. They learned it from Star Wars.
Gen Z's just bored, except for that one.
No! Gen Z's broke, man. And they're bored. But they're broke, right? They're broke. They're seeing everything being taken away from them. They're being given nothing. They're dealing with stupid people who won't let go of the past. Millennials are the same way. Millennials are much more hapless because they were the transitional generation between the end of this geriocracy and whatever's coming next. But Gen Z, millennials, we're not getting anything, man. We were told that we were lazy. We were told that we needed our avocado toast and our lattes, and that's why we can't afford a house. We were told to just get in line, and we did.
I think that's where I'm saying this power vacuum is going to be filled by technology, because the virtual world that's going to be offered will cost nothing. They give people phones for free. They want you on social media all the time, because that's how you pay.
But like you said, everything comes to an end. The proliferation of social media can't go on forever. It can't. It's going to get boring. And especially if they don't innovate, right? They want people to stay online. They want people looking at their phones. They want people hilariously listening to another podcast instead of doing stuff. That's fine. That can't go on forever, especially when you can't afford to sit in an apartment with your earbuds in because you can't afford an apartment and you can't afford earbuds because you can't get a job.
Well, that's where it's literally going to be the Matrix, because what's your value if you aren't going to work and producing things because the robot's doing all of it? Man, maybe I'm getting too theoretical here, but I guess your electrical signal could be a currency in a sense. Like if you're stuck in the Matrix and they don't need you anymore, but they don't want to kill you.
What, they want to use you as a battery?
In some sense, yeah.
Yeah. But even that can't go on forever. Young people don't want that, man. Young people don't want to. I mean, they do because it's a cope. It's a way of dealing with it.
Don't give them a choice. Make their only escape video games.
They will kill you before they let that happen. That's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. Yes, you have two choices. Either you are broke or you go in the box. The virtual box. A lot of people will pick the virtual box, but a lot of people are never going to do that. I just don't believe it.
Well, maybe not Americans, but I know the Japanese are kind of going that direction.
Yeah, it's true. But it's going to, I mean, this is a powder keg. I'm telling you, we're not sitting around listening to Chuck Schumer bitch and whine because his pet problem that he developed 50 years ago or whatever is still, a bug in his ear or whatever. We don't care. How can we care? These are luxury beliefs. These are luxury values. Anti-Semitism, white supremacy, dude, we can't afford houses. We can't afford families. We can't afford food. Like, people are broke. And it's not because they don't want to work. It's because you're replacing them with people who aren't from here. And AI.
Yeah, well, they want to replace people with who don't. They want to replace us with people who don't remember the before times.
Right. All right, we need to move on here because we're out of time. But
yeah, I'm going to have people show up pretty soon.
Yeah. That's Chuck Schumer. I wish I could. I don't know if we have time for this one, but I'm going to try it anyway. I found someone who understood the PR loss that we're talking about here. This was where was this? This is Sarah Hurwitz at the Jewish Federation.
I think that since October 7th, but really before then, there have been huge shifts in America on how people think about Jews and Israel. And I think that is especially true of young people. So we are now wrestling with a new, I think, generational divide here. And I think that's particularly true in that social media is now our source of media. And this, it used to be that the media you got in America was American media, and it was pretty mainstream. It generally didn't express extreme anti-Israel views. You had to go to a pretty weird bookstore to find global media and fringe media. But today, we have social media, which is a global medium, right? Its algorithms are shaped by billions of people worldwide who don't really love Jews. And so while in the 1990s, a young person probably wasn't going to find Al Jazeera or someone like Nick Fuentes, today, those media outlets find them. They find them on their phones. It's also this increasingly post-literate media, less and less text, more and more videos. So you have TikTok just smashing our young people's brains all day long with video of carnage in Gaza. And this is why so many of us can't have a sane conversation with younger Jews, because anything that we try to say to them, they are hearing it through this wall of carnage. So I want to give data and information and facts and arguments, and they are just seeing in their minds carnage, and I sound obscene. And, I think, unfortunately, the very smart, bet that we made on Holocaust education to serve as anti-Semitism education, in this new media environment, I think that is beginning to break down a little bit.
For the first time, somebody who gets it.
Yeah. No, she's right.
You got really loud all of a sudden. What happened?
I leaned over.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That's what I'm saying. She totally gets it. And she's talking more broadly. It's not. This isn't just about. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to use this as a way of illustrating the boomer paradigm cannot withstand the new generation of communication technology. It can't be done. It can't be done because the way it exists is in linear, prescripted narratives. Can't be done.
Yeah, I think she's absolutely right about what she's saying there, and I don't see somebody who's got a plan.
Right.
I see somebody who's like, "Oh shit!" Like, we better brace ourselves because we can't keep up with the technology.
She's got one more point. All right. I think this is worth listening to.
Because, Holocaust education is absolutely essential. But I think it may be confusing some of our young people about anti-Semitism because they learn about big, strong Nazis hurting weak, emaciated Jews. And they think, anti-Semitism is like anti-black racism, right? Powerful white people against powerless black people. So when on TikTok all day long they see powerful Israelis hurting weak, skinny Palestinians, it's not surprising that they think, I know, the lesson of the Holocaust is you fight Israel. You fight the big, powerful people hurting the weak people.
Exactly. You see? What she's talking about is meta-narrative. It's not about you. It's about principle. Principle is bigger than your story. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They say the principle is that the big, strong people pick on the little weak people, and you have to help the little weak people to fight the big, strong people who are picking on them for no reason, right? This is what we learned. She's got it.
It's Star Wars.
Yes.
Rebels and Empire.
You fight the Empire. Reddit, call it Reddit brain, call it whatever you want. The meta-narrative is you stick up for people who are getting picked on. You fight bullies, period. That's the meta-narrative. I can't believe they missed this. But that's what I'm saying is I don't believe that it's, oh, they can't see beyond the end of their nose. I mean, it is that at some level. But I think it's just everybody. This is my main point, I think. Everybody's getting freaking older. That's it. That's it. That explains the Israel PR disaster. Everybody's getting freaking older. We're all still learning. All of us are still learning. Nobody's right. There are ideas that have their time, and there are ideas that don't have their time. And this idea of we can just bludgeon people over the head with our narrative and they won't learn anything from it, but they'll be good and brainwashed is not going to work anymore. Because that kind of media information structure is designed for a different kind of people that are very old or are long gone. You want to see Ted Cruz get upset?
Yes, but
I know you're out of time.
I think you're right on the money about that. It is just interesting. I think that 2-minute clip is probably one of the most compelling I've seen about this topic, because I really just, you bring this to the show almost every week, and I'm just like, all right, here we go again. But to see somebody be that real about it,
yeah,
is really interesting, because it's like you think about, Hollywood and Jewish Hollywood, and it kind of being built on, at least as the narrative goes, people who escaped from oppression and built something. And then what were the stories that they told over and over and over and over again? The little underdog story, fighting back against the big bad. And now all of a sudden they're the big bad. And it's like you have 100 years of programming on the American mind that you have to somehow judo throw into doing what you want again. And that is one hell of a design problem.
And that's what I'm saying is it's generational, but it's not, oh, the Zoomers just hate Israel. It's the boomers won't shut up. They won't pass the torch. This is an old people problem. And it's not just Americans who are dealing with it.
We got bigger things to worry about.
Well, we're supposed to what? Pick up the frickin' baton with this going on? Like, we're here to run a race. What's going on with you guys? Oh, we're obsessed with the bleachers. We can't get over the bleachers. Well, everybody else is running a race. Why can't we run a race? Well, you can't run it. How dare you talk about the race when we have bleachers over here that need our attention? That's what's happening with Gen Z right now. They're like, the race is right there. People are running. We want to run the race. And they're like, you anti-Semite, it doesn't work.
You weren't here when we set these bleachers up. You have no idea. People wouldn't have a place to sit if we didn't set up these bleachers.
You're so entitled because you want to run the race. Why don't you care about my bleachers?
It's like, oh no, they already started the race. Now we're falling behind.
Yeah. And you won't stop. Like, can you please take this rope off my neck and let me run this race? No. How dare you? How dare you want to run the race? You're so selfish. At a certain point, you're like, if we're just going to lose, like, we're just going to lose because you won't let this go? Here's Ted Cruz.
This poison is spreading. There are pastors who love Israel who think all is fine, and my message to them is go and talk to the teenagers in your congregation. Go and talk to the 20-somethings in your congregation, because they're picking up their phone and they're watching TikTok and they're watching Instagram and they're hearing this message being driven, and it is resonating. And if you want an illustration of this, several weeks ago, J.D. Vance was down at Ole Miss at a Turning Point gathering, and one kid got up, asked this viciously anti-Semitic question. The most horrifying thing to me is what happened in the second later, which is the crowd erupted in applause.
How dare those boys? You understand?
No, bring back that other lady. We don't need any friggin' histrionics from a pseudo Christian guy. Sorry,
Right.
it's so repulsive. It's like they don't want to listen to this.
It's over.
Ted, like, stop.
Yeah,
the evangelical church is rotten to the core, and using their tactics,
yes,
is not helping anybody. You need to be pragmatic and smart about this. And when your stupid fat face is back in everybody's business again, like, sorry, you're not cool. The only way you're going to be cool again is if you start to use your brain.
I know.
And it's just like, is this his body language? Like, I've seen pastors, and he puts his hand on his heart. It's just like, God, we're done with that. Like, if you guys want to survive this, you have to be real.
Right.
And you have to give a little.
You have to listen. You just have to listen. You just have to listen. Why don't you listen? This little bit here, real quick.
This message being driven, and it is resonating.
Why is it resonating, Ted? It's because they're all just secret little Hitlers. Well, you raised them, you son of a monkey.
A sea monkey.
Sea monkey. Good callback. Good callback. You want to see where this is going, and then we'll be done?
Yeah, get him off the page. I can't look at him anymore.
All right. This is Azapak.
The United States of America did not begin with a revolution against tyranny, only to serve a foreign nation state. But the fact is, our government acts like the servant of another country. That other country is, of course, the State of Israel. That's not policy. That's a national disgrace. I'm Michael Rechtenwald, founder of the Anti-Zionist America Political Action Committee, or AZAPAC. Let's cut to the chase, shall we? The U.S. government has been hijacked by forces loyal to Israel. Does Congress represent us? No. With rare exceptions, they work for Israel. These aren't your elected reps, they're puppets. And their strings are pulled by donors loyal to the modern nation-state of Israel. This isn't an alliance, it's extortion. While we're scraping by, eggs at $6 a dozen, rent or mortgage devouring our paychecks, our leaders have funneled over $21 billion to Israel in 2 years, not counting the cost of U.S. engagements in the region at Israel's behest. The total cost to U.S. taxpayers in service of Israel is an estimated $33 billion.
33 detected.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I don't.
It's the Masons. They're in charge. Yay!
America has a long history of being anti-conspiracy. Speaking of Masons, there was the anti-Mason party in our history. But again, I don't think that's going to work because, quite frankly, it's not strong enough. But it's a start. This is the thing you could unite the left and the right on. I'm not kidding. Because everybody knows this is a problem. But again, I think my main point for all of this is that this is a boomer problem. Full stop. And if all they had to do was listen, and now you see. Right? One last one is real short. This is just a little picture of what you might expect to see.
Excuse me, sir. What do you think of boomers? Boomers? What do you think of boomers? Fuck boomers! Yeah! Hey! We're not on the same side. They're trying to fucking stop us. Fuck boomers. They signed NAFTA. They allowed Mexicans to come here en masse. They allowed the 60s and 70s immigration control. They allowed everyone to come in here. They made it. They hog buildings. They hog houses. They hog boats. They're fucking greedy pieces of shit. Fuck boomers! One bullet for every fucking boomer! Day of the pillow, motherfucker!
Holy crap.
That's an old one.
He's mad.
But I'm telling you, man, it's an old person problem. And much love to any elderly listeners. Not many of you. It's not all of you, don't get me wrong. But all I'm saying is there is an old paradigm that's dying. And that's fine. That's fine. Get used to it.
Things are just going to change faster and faster.
Yeah.
The only thing that's not going to change is that Microsoft sucks.
Outlook will never be a legitimate email platform.
All Adobe products will always get worse.
Yes. These are the laws of nature. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us in this episode of the Clowntown Chronicle. If you liked what you heard, please rate it 5 stars. Give it a nice review on whatever platform you're listening on. Share it with your dumb friends. Donate to the show with the Stripe link in the description. You can subscribe to the We Talk About Dead People Patreon, or you can subscribe to Substack if you want to do a recurring donation with no notes, but some people prefer to do it that way. A little quiet support. I know you're out there. I've seen our numbers. And if you can't support us financially because you're busy saving for a house, that's okay. Just tell people. Steal a phone, give it 5 stars on there. Anything helps. All right? That all said, business out of the way. Everybody, please have an amazing week. And we'll see you next time on the friggin' Clowntown Chronicle. Say goodbye, Adam.
Goodbye.